I don't know if it's this is good. This is perfect.
It's okay. Okay, good.
Yeah, it's good like this. Yes, nice. When did you arrive to Bucharest?
We arrived to Bucharest yesterday at quite late at midnight, and now we're in Ploiești. We just took a bus yesterday when we arrived, and we're sleeping in Ploiești, and because we're playing tonight in Ploiești.
How do you like Romania so far? Have you been here before?
Yes, I came to Romania, I think in 22 or 23 years ago, and it was during the winter, in January. So it was very cold and a lot of snow, but I got very great memories from that. And we're very happy to be here and to meet a new audience, and the weather is great. So hopefully we'll get some time to see a bit of the cities and stuff like that.
Great. I don't know if you know too much about Jazz Compas. Is the first Romanian printed magazine, and actually listening to the music of the Jazz Orchestra of France, I was thinking that one of the first materials that we did here in this magazine was about improvised music. The first article was about Ivan Parker, if you know, from
of course,
from UK, and it was interesting listening to the direction of the music that you proposed, or maybe the ensemble proposed in rituals. That it reminded me a bit of this approach. How was the composing process in the ensemble? I saw that you composed some part of the music.
I wanted, on this program, I wanted to have like a program that was written by several different persons. So I asked some of my, good friends and composers like Leila Martial, Camille Durand, Grégoire Le Touvet, and Sylvain Hélary, of course. Asked them to write with me this program, and it was very interesting to write, try to compose a program together. The good thing is that we had a quite special instrumentation on this program. So, as there is 4 voices, and there are some strings also, which are not that often present in jazz music. We had this special orchestration which could give also a kind of coherence to the program, because it was not like, a standard big band. And also the other thing is that we wanted to work on this idea of rituals, musical rituals. And so we found out a great book that is called The Technician of the Sacred. And it's a new collection of a book. It's a book from, a university from the US. And it's a collection of ancient texts from all over the world, like traditional text and traditional songs and, poems and stuff like that. But it's mostly very old stuff that hasn't been transcribed as written before. So like stuff that's, for some of the stuff, it's more than 3,000 or 4,000 years old. And we were really, really like, very inspired by this text, because they were speaking about all the human constants, like, the thing that makes us human and everybody shares, like life, death, food, sex, and all this kind of stuff. And for us, it was obvious that we could use this text to try to build these musical rituals, and try to build a program where you have some pieces that start with pieces from the morning, then you go into the afternoon, and then you go into the night. And all that is like a journey in music. And it could be, like rituals for a day, but it could also be rituals for life or for seasons or stuff like that.
Yes. So there is something ancestral about the way you did the music and somehow the sonorities or the sounds that you got close to. How did you imagine this in terms of combinations of instruments and orchestration?
We did some meetings, with the other composers, and but it was very easy, because probably we met the first time, you know, speaking about the book and the text and the ideas we had in music. And then everybody went back home and wrote some music. And then after that, when we met again, everybody, it was very easy. It was strange because it was very easy. Everybody said, oh, I think I've got a piece that's really is for the morning, you know, because of that and that. And everybody was, yeah, okay, that's cool. And I've got something probably that's more like a night music and stuff like that. And we didn't really, you know, talk a lot about all that. It was very natural and it was really fun to do. And I don't think that we tried to connect, like, you know, probably on some orchestral level, there is some connection between some, you know, music that might sound, for example, the last piece I wrote, which is the piece that is supposed to be like really very, very late at night and going back to the morning. I really tried to compose it and give a different kind of orchestration, probably a bit darker than the other pieces, but and it's supposed also to, at the end of the piece, it's supposed to do kind of you can go back to the beginning of the recording and it works. But yeah, I think we did it. I would say we did it in a very organic way, not really, you know, thinking about too much about the music and really letting the intuition work on that.
So the whole thing was very connected with a certain flow, right? So it didn't. You felt it that it's something that is flowing.
Exactly.
I have a question that is very simple, because we could talk for ages about how to make music, but I'm sure that somebody that doesn't know anything about you and the music, that would like to come to the concert, but it's not, let's say, totally sure. What would you say in few words about the music? Why should people come to listen to the orchestra in these concerts, or maybe one of these concerts? You're gonna play in Ploiești, right?
Yes, tonight.
And then Sibiu and
Bucharest,
then at the Godot Theater, right?
Yeah. I would say one simple thing is that first, you know, I always like music when it's a journey and when it's a trip. And I hope that the program we're offering to the audience is a real trip. So if you want, you know, to escape from everything that surrounds us and go into like an imaginary world and tripping together with us, come to the concert. And I can tell you that it's a real trip. And that's really the way, you know, I've been, when I was a kid, I was spending hours, you know, tripping with some music. And when I was, you know, trying to get asleep, I was putting on my CD player Debussy, for example, and I was tripping and listening to Debussy's music. And well, this is, for me, this is one of the purpose of music. And this is why also we connect with this idea of rituals, because I think there is something about, you know, there is something very spiritual in music. And I'm not referring to any kind of spirituality like, you know, religions, but really deeply spiritual in music. So yeah, it's a collective trip, and that's cool. So come with us, and I hope you'll have fun.
Great. Thank you very much, Frederic. I have more questions for you, but I know how it feels to be a touring musician and how precious is the time.
If you want to ask me if you want to ask me a few more questions, I'm good with that, because we don't have sound check until a bit of time. I still have some. If you want, I still have some minutes left for you.
Great. Yes, my next question was related to an idea that also makes me ask myself about it, is how to attract, because we were talking about inviting people to the concert, how to attract new audiences. I saw that you are also aiming to build something like this, and you have program for kids, right? You have like an orchestra, like a junior, like an orchestra for kids.
Yeah.
What can you say about this?
Yeah. You know, music should be for everybody, and I won't, you know, it's a complicated topic, but Yes, there is a disconnection that appeared between some part of the audience and the music for some reason. I mean, it's complicated stories, but and for me, it's very important to try to communicate the music with a lot of people. And music is for everybody. There is really nothing to understand in music. You just have to listen to it, and of course, if you have some maybe some stuff, and you have been listening to some stuff, you might be more in a open way. You might open yourself to some new kind of music more easily, but everybody can listen to the music. So and of course, if you don't give the chance to the children to listen to some other kind of music that the one that can listen to all the time on television, on the internet, which is mostly the music from the music industry, which is something very different from what we do. Well, you have to reach them. So for me, building some youth programs like we did, and it's funny because the youth program we did is called Dracula, which has a lot of, we would love to come and play it in Romania, but it's in French. There is also, text in the program and comedians, and it's in French. So it's complicated to have a version that would be understandable for Romanian audience and for children. But, and also, so by playing music for the children, you can, try to, it won't work with every children, but at least that you try to make them listen to some other stuff that the music they're constantly exposed to. And also the youth program, it's a bit different because the youth program is about young musicians. So they are already musicians. So it's different. It's more about, helping them to become professional musicians by giving them a lot of stuff about network, and also a lot of working with them in the youth orchestra, meeting older musicians. So it's a different purpose, and it works really well because now, for example, on this tour, we have a young trombone player called Balthazar Baudin, and he's just coming from the youth orchestra. And we have new musicians in the orchestra coming from the youth orchestra every year. So it really works. But I would just add something, is that also what we try to do since I was appointed at the artistic direction of the orchestra, we really try to, every time we play, to do some stuff to connect with the people. And, sometimes it's just meeting the audience before the show or after the show. Sometimes it's really, trying to do some what we call in France médiation culturelle. It means that we are going to give the venue a lot of stuff that is not just a concert, but some writings that the people can read, some videos, some stuff that can help the people that wants to come to the venue to say, okay, at first I was thinking maybe this music is not for me, but now I get it. Music is for everybody. So I can really try to go to the concert and try to, dig into the music.
Yeah. And actually what I realized, because I'm also, and I don't want to talk about myself too much, I'm doing some program for kids. And I actually noticed that the children that don't have a programmation of how music is, or what music is supposed to be, or music is only for dancing or for party, and you put them in a new setup where you ask them, okay, listen to these sounds, what these sounds look like, or make you imagine. The kids are very open to that. So I totally congratulate you for this idea, because
you're completely right. This is children, they have no filters. They don't say, oh, okay, this is this kind of music, or this kind of music, or that's not for me, or and they're very open-minded, which is cool, because sometimes, I remember that we do a lot of improv music, and we also do it for a kindergarten. So we have some musicians going to play totally improv music for a kindergarten, and it's cool. Some of the kids, they're just, tripping. Some other kids that don't get it, but it's okay. And they don't want to listen, but it's okay. And that's fun, because music should be much more, natural than it has become, with all this industry that is really, also children, they are completely able of listening to music for more than 2 minutes. They can listen to a real program of music, but, today, who listens to pieces of music that last more than 3 minutes? Not a lot of people, and that's a pity.
Yes, yes. Regarding the name of the project that you're gonna perform, where do people can listen to this music online, or they should buy like a CD or a vinyl
You
disc?
can find the music on our website. You can find some links for videos that are on YouTube that are free, and so there are also pieces on YouTube that are free, and you can find the music on Bandcamp. And Bandcamp is a great music platform because it really shares the music with the artist. And that the cool thing about Bandcamp is that the people that can go to Bandcamp, check the music from Orchestra National de Jazz, and they can listen to some tracks freely. I think they can listen 2 or 3 times to everything freely, and then if they like it, they can buy it. And and there is also Spotify, but I'm Spotify. You probably, as you are a musician, you know that Spotify they don't share nothing. So I would recommend to people to avoid Spotify. But anyway.
Yes. So you're gonna perform in Ploiești tonight, and then Sibiu tomorrow.
Yes, and then we go to Belgrade on I guess on Sunday we play in Belgrade, and then we come back to Romania for the concert.
To Bucharest for
That's
the
right.
concert in Palatul Bragadiru.
That's right.
At the Godot Theater. Okay, so with this meeting, thank you very much, Frederic, to share this time with me and with everybody that will watch our little interview, let's say, our little discussion. I invite you all to the concerts. And a last question before we say goodbye. You were saying about the music that started to be very like a fast food thing, and everybody, or most of the people, they listen very little time a piece of music. What is your how do you say, like ritual
in music
daily, let's say? What do you do, something that is, and you also maybe recommend to the people to do it, to connect with the music and with the vibration and the sounds?
I used to listen to probably 2 or 3 hours of music every day for many years, but I must say that in the last couple of years I've had maybe less time to listen to some music. But I think for everybody, you have to find when during the day you are the more how do you say disponible, you have the more your brain is really able to focus on the music and listen to the music. And for some people, it's in the morning. For some people, it's at night. I know that for myself, I listen to a lot of music when I go to bed, because I really like, this kind of state where you're listening to the music and sometimes you're falling asleep and you're still listening to the music, but it's a different, way of listening. So you really have to find your connection. And some people, they like to listen to the music very loud. Some people, they like to listen to the music at a more quiet level. I always love to listen, for example, to the music like I would say at the acoustic level. I mean, if it's very quiet music, I would listen to it at the very quiet level, but if it's very loud music, I like it to be loud. So you really have to find your rituals. And also, as talking about, these kind of rituals of music, I think for everybody, you've got some music that fits with the way you feel in the morning, and there are some music that fits with the way you feel during the day and maybe at night. And you really have to find this kind of music for yourself. Because I think everybody's got his own imaginary world speaking about music. I don't know about you. Maybe you listen to music, at night or every day during all day. What do you prefer to do for yourself?
I prefer to do music in the morning.
Yeah, okay.
I feel like it connects me very nicely to have like let's say like a very prosperous and very connected day, let's say. Yes.
No. And it's the same about, I don't know how you write music, but for me it's the same. I know that I can write music in the morning. I know that I can really write music late at night. and it's much more difficult for me to write music during the afternoon. I don't know why, but that's the way it is.
Yes. Great. Thank you very much, Frederic.
You're welcome.
If you watched this interview, you can also read it on the platform jazzcompas.online as a text, but you can also see it for the people who like to read also. So thank you very much, and have a pleasant and very fluent journey in Bucharest, Belgrade, wherever you go. And good luck with this wonderful ensemble.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Frederic. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.